Death comes for us all.
Indeed it does, John. As evidenced by our latest poll. God, that's such a weird tone, but it's going to be a weird tone this time because we are looking at the top 10 defunct developers as voted by all of you. These are the developers you all miss the most. They're all wonderful as I have gone through, and a lot of the games I've seen here, it's like, oh man, they made that. Oh man, they made that. Oh man, they made that. And it's just like, it's sad. It's sad, and it's been punctuated by just all the layoffs and stuff that just have been continually happening throughout the past few years. And it's a depressing state. So for this one, I wanted to raise one for the fallen, look at the developers that have sadly just disappeared at this point, or have been inactive for far too long. And remember some of the games. Like again, a lot of the goal of these top 10s is helping you find games that you might not otherwise know and get and check those out. Especially as we get beyond the top 10, which is like the fun, like let's do this, let's check out what we have, to the rest was like, hey, here's some interesting things, which worked out in my favor because when we did the top 10 Square Enix games, I don't really remember hearing about Paranormasight. Then all of a sudden we got a sequel and I'm checking out the original. I was like, oh damn, this is good.
Yeah, such a cool coincidence. The talent behind a game is everything. Whenever we talk about how Nintendo don't always announce their developers until the game's out, you get a bunch of comments being like, oh, so what? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. And it does. The people who make the game are everything. They're the life and soul of it all. And if a game franchise has gone dormant for a while, it's usually because the development team aren't there to do it. Most developers want to be making games. They'll be continuing their most iconic series. And the reason that a lot of this stuff just goes into the void is because no one's there to work on it anymore.
Yeah. And a lot of times if they don't want to work on a series anymore, it's because they've been forced into that mine and they're just tired of making the same game over and over and over again. They want to just branch out and have something new. And a lot of times they're just like, nope, you're going to keep making this. Pour one out for the Call of Duty devs that they always cycle through. Good God. But
it's a rough time in the industry. Like, there's tons of layoffs, tons of studio closures, not very fun times to be talking about gaming news, and a ton of talented developers. Like, it doesn't come down to just talent, right? Sometimes it's just someone high up in a corporation decides that they no longer want to fund whatever studio for whatever reason. Whether you have a hit or not, some of these studios that have been closed have made banger releases and then just been shut down right after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or in a lot of cases, it's like you get those fun cult classics that catch on later, but at the time, they just does not translate to sales. So you have that good word of mouth, but it's not enough to carry the game forward or carry that developer forward because they still got to make a profit, unfortunately, which it's sad. Which honestly, you look at a game like Katamari Damacy, that could have easily been one of those cases, but it just clicked that right moment, right price point, right everything. It just something just clicked about that one game that does not happen for a lot of others. So it's precarious. You don't know exactly what's going to hit. You try your best. And sometimes following the market works. Sometimes following it, you're going to be too late, especially with how long dev times take anymore. So by the time you do make the stuff that's trendy right now, it's 5 years later and something new is trendy. So good luck.
Yeah.
That's why it's almost better to just do your own thing and just hope for the best.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it isn't the end either. Like if a studio goes under, we're in that era where they can just like take it back into their own arms and make like a spiritual successor. So that's always cool to see, because it just because a studio's gone doesn't mean the talent is. But a lot of the time that's not the case.
Yeah, sometimes the talent's able to go on and make something new. Sometimes they're not, and a lot of times it's kind of dependent on how big a name you got in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's rough. But but anyway, this is all about celebrating those devs, going just for the top 10 we miss most, according to all of you. But this was also a tough poll. because it kind of required homework on the part of the voters, because it's like, oh gosh, who did go away, and you have to look that up. And so because of that, we only ended up with 344 total votes, so a little less than what we usually get from the last few polls. But again, required a bit of research, so not everybody has the time or wants to put in the time to look up the stuff, or just knows 10 Defunct developers off the top of their head.
You've got to be in the weeds to know this stuff, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't think that's any reason not to do this sort of thing, because it's hey, we're raising awareness. Look who made these amazing games that you might have grown up with and not realized they're even gone. So let's get that whole thing started with our number 10 Defunct developer with a grand total of 287 points.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know if I should throw an extra clue for you guys, or I don't know how to throw an extra clue in for I
was going to say, this is going to be an exceptionally hard list to predict because I think people have different feelings and there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in this type of thing. I would appreciate it because I don't think there's any way I'm going to guess what the audience is until we get to like the top.
I like the idea of variety out there. Like if just throwing out more legacy studios that probably won't make the list.
Yeah. So wait,
I'm for just guessing whatever.
Oh, just guessing whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, you made your own list, so you could just sort of go off that and probably just do as well.
Right. I'm going to start with one that's near and dear to my heart, and that's Sierra Online. If you don't know Sierra Online, they did a lot of point-and-click adventures on the PC, particularly in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. They developed King's Quest, which is a huge series, Leisure Suit Larry. Like they were quite literally the kings of the point-and-click genre, and I played a ton of these on my dad's computer when I was little. I love these guys. I didn't even know they were actually shut down until I was researching this list, and that made me really sad.
Yeah. I'll go with Psygnosis, who are the Wipeout and Lemmings developers, who Sony cowardly shut down about 10 years ago.
It's such a cowardly move.
Yeah, a bunch of cowards.
All right. At number 10, I'm not even going to give you guys a hard time for getting these wrong. At number 10, Skip Limited.
Oh, of course. I thought Skip would be way closer to the top 5 or something. Cause
I think it kind of gets into that where they're known, but they're also not widely known. And if you're not aware, Skip is our original Chibi Robo devs, as well as Captain Rainbow.
Jaden says Skip is dead. It wasn't like formally announced that the studio just ceased to have a place to work anymore. Like one day their entire studio just didn't have a property. So like maybe it exists in like 1 or 2 employees or something. It doesn't seem like it because Chibi Robo's got a new IP now. Going
off of Wikipedia, it's dissolved as of 2020.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
is how it's sort of described here. However, if you care about Skip and like those games, and I know this game is struggling because it did not get a lot of attention, the former Skip devs, specifically those who worked on Chibi Robo, started Tiny Wonder and developed Korobo, which was released in 2024, which you don't hear a lot about, but
you don't. I mean, you heard a lot about it when it was announced, but no one really kept with it, unfortunately. Skip make really good games though, beyond Chibi Robo. But the problem is a lot of it doesn't release in England or not in England, in the rest of the world. Like you mentioned, Captain Rainbow. I think that's a lot better than Chibi Robo, but very few got to play outside of Japan. And they got a bunch of games like that. It's like really weird adventure games that no one else makes.
Yeah, I've still not played Chibi Robo, and thank God that's on the GameCube NSO, so more people can experience that now. Because I'd love to try it out at some point. I want to, but I think it's one of those cases where there's just not a lot of, like as you said, their handheld titles never really left Japan, and their console titles were, well, either Chibi Robo or Captain Rainbow. And looking at the rest, they ended up with a lot of WiiWare and DSiWare stuff that you kind of remember, but you don't really remember. It's hard to build up a reputation with just WiiWare and DSiWare.
Yeah.
So, one of those guys. Everybody talks Captain. People point out Captain Rainbow. It's like, look at this weird thing. It's like
It is a good game though, especially if you care about all those legacy Nintendo franchises. But you got that's never releasing in English, so play the fan translation.
yeah, that's kind of your best bet at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, Skip, rest in peace at number 10. So let's move on to our number 9 Defunct developer, beating out Skip by 17 points.
Okay, these are all going to be quite close, aren't they?
For a little bit. Actually, some are close, some are not. Like the ones towards the bottom of the list get quite close, and as you get there, then there's the ones that like everybody knows.
Yeah, I'll go with core design, which is that should be one most people know, but it's been a long time.
I'm a huge Saints Row fan, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Volition. The studio that created the franchise got just unceremoniously shuttered, and we got that new Saints Row that's terrible. Yeah, I miss those guys.
Yeah. At number 9, Pandemic Studios, creators of Mercenaries, Destroy All Humans, and The Saboteur.
The Saboteur is really good as well.
This is sadly one of those developers I missed all their stuff. I've heard great things about Mercenaries back in the day. Destroy All Humans is always shown as a lot of fun. And then, yeah, I think their final game was The Saboteur, which I didn't check out because everybody was burned out on World War II games at the time. So
yeah. And it's such a distinct style too, with that like sort of that monochrome look to it. I don't think it's backwards compatible on even Xbox as well, so that you've got to play it on original hardware. There might be a PC version out there, but it's a really cool and just unique game. And like the Mercenaries was cool as well, but Destroy All Humans is probably their most well-known thing.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, that's you don't see a Saboteur re-release, but Destroy All Humans got a remakes, and re-release and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it makes sense there. They also did Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
That's right. Yeah, I mean that's way bigger than Destroy All Humans. Yeah,
I should have. I was like, wait, why didn't I put that? Probably because I only had so much time, almost so much room. But yeah, they did Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2 because I was looking at the same year they released the Saboteur. They also released the Lord of the Rings Conquest, which is basically just Star Wars Battlefront except Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I would have loved to play that, to be honest. I actually really enjoyed the original Battlefront. That was one of the most, for its time, like one of the most visually impressive games I'd seen. And man, yeah, that's kind of sad. Like like you, Derek, I've never played anything else of theirs. So Battlefront is the extent of my experience with them. But I can tell just from that, they make good stuff. Like it makes me want to go back and play some of their older titles.
And as people pointed out in the live audience, this is Electronic Arts. You get bought out by Electronic Arts. It's only a matter of time before you're dissolved. It feels like
good old EA, the most hated company on earth.
I feel like that's overshot these days. Like there's far worse than EA now. Like
there is. Like
Microsoft
EA sort of just keeps its head down, and nobody really.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks about EA. EA is just sort of like quiet workhorse that's kind of terrible, but nowhere near as hated as they were before, where they were voted like worst company.
They've got that stigma and legacy though, haven't they? But there are worse out there.
Oh yeah. I would say they're not as bad as they used to be. But like Derek said, it's very hard to remove them from that.
Yeah.
Looking at this, the wiki does mention that the developers, a lot of them, like a dozen went to 343 Industries, others have gone to Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Respawn, and so forth. So at least at the time, the developers were able to land on their feet. It's not just straight, we're going to lay off a bunch of you. So there's oddly better back in the day to get dissolved. At least you still have a job elsewhere. Just the studio you were a bit more original with is gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, they had a certain style. They nailed that style, and it's just a shame it didn't. Well, EA expected too much. If I had to guess anything,
probably, yeah.
So, yep. Pandemic Studios at number 9. Here's our first big jump because number 8 beat out number 9. Beat out Pandemic by Um, 111 points. It feels weird to say beat out when it comes to this. I have no idea what word to replace it with though, because it's like there is none of these developers are inherently better than the other. It's just this one got more votes. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose one that made me. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm going to choose one that made me really sad, like in the depths of my soul, sad, especially because I didn't know it happened 14 years ago. Hudson Soft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The creators of Bomberman, which we just got a collection for. The creators of all of those games that were in that rad collection from the Direct are no more. Half of them or like a good chunk of them went to ND Cube because they also worked on Mario Party, so Nintendo snapped up a bunch of the talent, thank goodness. And the rest of them just kind of got merged into the Konami conglomeration, right? Like, so I'm glad that in this case at least the developers all found places, because that doesn't happen in a lot of cases. But it's crazy to think that an IP as beloved as Bomberman and talent that worked on mainline Mario Party couldn't keep their doors open. Like that to me is nuts. And I remember booting up so many games in the 16, 32, and 64-bit eras and seeing that Hudson Soft logo and having that be the way I knew the game was going to be good.
You recognize that B.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was like as good for me as like the dopey Nintendo seal of quality. Like that. Yeah. I would cut a game on and be like, oh, I'm going to love this. Like, there's a Hudson Soft game that's going to rock. And it never occurred to me that it's just been gone for longer than my kids have been alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'll go with Visceral, the Dead Space guys.
Ah, okay. That's another sad one.
Yeah.
At number 8, going a little old school with this one, Clover Studio.
I was.
Oh, they were on my list.
I was thinking of saying this, but it doesn't feel like it really matters anymore because we've got Clovers now.
It matters, but it's also like, oh God, we might have had a revival just because we are getting Okami 2. We'll see how that does, whether that can continue. But man, back in the day, Clover was. It's weird. It was like that had that cult of personality. Everybody that played those games loved those games, and yet it just didn't catch on in sales in the way. Like Beautiful Joe did well enough that it got a bunch of sequels. Okami has that legacy and whatnot, and then you have God Hand, which was weird and got that infamous IGN review. But damn, having played it myself, God Hand's a lot of fun.
It's really fun. Yeah. This is one where like. Yeah, it sucks that they went down, but it led to so much good stuff. Like it led to Platinum. Now it's led to Clovers. So it doesn't sting in the same way a lot of these ones do. Where it's like, oh no, we lost so much with this. People lost their jobs. That's sad for sure. But they released lots of great games, and it led on to even more great games. So this is kind of a sweet one.
Yeah, and. We have Shinji Mikami is still out there doing his own thing, even though he was part of Tango Gameworks, at least was until is he retired now or?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Like he retired and then Tango and Evil Within devs gone. I don't know if they're the same ones, but they're gone now. It's like, oh my God, how is this happening? But, again, so far at least everybody landed on their feet. But yeah, going from in Shinji Mikami's case, you end off Clover with God Hand, and then you go to Platinum with Vanquish. Some good stuff there.
Yeah, it's like it never really went. Yeah,
and Capcom. Well, we've got a lot of Okami re-releases. Beautiful Joe does not get that same love. God Hand does not get that same love. Okami's the only one that gets that.
Beautiful Joe was very much like a product of its time. I think it was really cool with what it was doing in the GameCube era. I don't know that it would hit the same now. I love the games, but I do wonder how a re-release outside of like a potential NSO re-release would do.
Yeah,
I think it actually would land a little bit better now. Like it was like cool at the time, but I think a lot of players didn't understand the references. I didn't. I just like, this is a weird kind of superhero that I'm getting, but now I was like, oh, it's like, Toko Sentai and all that stuff. I was like,
that might have been the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, that's what the references are. And now that's more widely available, and people are more aware of like the common writers and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So now I actually understand what the phrase "henching a go-go" means. So that's nice.
I had a friend who was super into that stuff. So like I knew those things from the get-go because I heard them all through high school. But yeah, I get that not a lot of people have like a turbo nerd in their lives. Besides the three of us, we're in your lives.
Yeah, no, I was the turbo nerd. So if I was like, not turbo nerd enough. So, oh well. But yeah, this one does at least most like it evolved, and we're getting Okami back. So
yeah,
we'll have to see what happens with that. So yeah, Clover at number 8. Let's see what got number 7. With beating out Clover by 13 points.
okay.
So pretty close.
Yeah. I'll go with Silicon Knights, who we mostly know for Eternal Darkness. They also did the Twin Snakes, but and Legacy of Kain. But like that's most of their stuff.
I'm gonna go with John on this one because they were on my list as well. Not at that place, but now things have been shuffled about. So I'll double down on Silicon Knights because I had them. Eternal Darkness, one of my favorite GameCube games.
Doubling down on a list like this, that's ballsy. Either way, I'm curious. This is also on your list, Steve, because at number 7, Midway Games.
It is on my list, and it's like number 3. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Midway, original publishers of Mortal Kombat, helped develop Cruisin' and the Blitz series, and just an arcade giant that couldn't really transfer to the console space.
Not to mention a pinball juggernaut as well. They did loads of pinball tables. Smash TV. Like if you are of the age that you got to spend time in arcades, you played Midway games at some point.
Oh yeah, and they were behind like localizing a lot of like Space Invaders and Pac-Man. I think it was also one of the ones I got. So
yep,
they're the reason we got a lot of those Japanese arcade games. They're also they did Defender, Joust, Gauntlet, the Rush series. Like, good God,
it's funny to talk about, but like realistically, Derrick, you and I are a bit older than John. Like our parents probably played Midway games in arcades. Like there's kind of this generational shift. Like, our age, we played a lot of the games that would come to 8 and 16-bit consoles. Our parents played a lot of like the games that came before, right? Like Pong and Space Invaders, stuff like that. That's a lot of like the older generation's legacy.
Yeah. They're the ones that got to the release Space Invaders and Pac-Man in the West. Yeah, they were doing well at the time. And then they started doing their own original stuff. Like Rampage is in that list, Spy Hunter, NBA Jam. Like
NBA Jam. Who could forget NBA
Midway's
Jam?
Was the 90s almost.
You could play as Bill Clinton in NBA Jam. Like that tells you how 90s that was.
No, 90s were a weird
time. Let's see who got number 6, beating out Midway by 40 points.
Okay, I'll go with a recent one, Sanzaru, who did. They were shut down. They were the Meta Studio, who also did Sly Cooper 4 and a bunch of other really pinnacle quest games, but shut down because they're just moving on from games seemingly.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to choose one that Derrick referenced earlier, Tango Gameworks. They had Hi-Fi Rush and then closed right after, but they also did The Evil Within 1 and 2, both amazing games, like Derrick said, from Shinji Mikami. I think they might have had just one other game. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yes.
Was the other game. So just a handful of games, but incredible talent behind that studio.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At number 6, Neversoft. We're sticking to the 90s here.
Yeah.
The developers of the original Spider-Man on PS1, the Tony Hawk franchise, and then they took over the Guitar Hero series with 3 and beyond. So, good work, Horse Studio. They also did Gun, which I've never played, but it's like matched that sort of Old West. Like it was the better of between that and Red Dead Revolver. I think it was considered the better game.
Red Dead
Yeah.
Revolver was better. Gun was a fantastic 360 launch game. Like
Mm.
that was, I had so much fun with that game when I picked up my Xbox 360, and I couldn't get enough of it. I played through it. I think you get like some crazy overpowered gun at the end of the game, and then I spent hours just running around like shooting people with this like elephant gun that I got at the end. There was nothing to do. I was just blasting things with it.
It's one of those studios that I think you get to know quite well. Because they'd put like they would cross over some of their franchises quite often. Like with Tony Hawk, Spider-Man's in there. There's like Pro Skater 2, maybe.
I think Pro Skater 2, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you recognize, like if you played Spider-Man, Tony Hawk, you make that connection of like, oh, these are the same guys. And like most people don't know who works on what, so this is like quite a easily affiliated one. And they just made really cool stuff as well.
And they had an incredibly striking logo, like that eyeball in the middle, you know, the O and Neversoft. Like you couldn't forget it. I remember seeing it. And I'm like,
It sort of matches the punk aesthetic of the Tony Hawk series. Like it's like, oh, this is like these guys know how to shred and whatnot or whatever it was. That's cool hit lingo at the time. But yeah, I knew them mostly from Tony Hawk, and even I don't care about skateboarding at all, but I still had fun with Tony Hawk 2 or 3. Picked those up and had a good time. And I remember renting Spider-Man on PS1 and being like, damn, this is really good. This is like really entertaining. For some of their lesser known games, beyond the Tony Hawks and the Guitar Heroes, they did Apocalypse on the PlayStation, the one with Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I played that once upon a time.
And their very first game was Skeleton Warriors on the PlayStation and Saturn, like a beat 'em up.
Interesting. So. I've never played Skeleton Warriors, but
no, I haven't either. So, but it's really funny to see like the early games of some of these devs, and see where they go beyond. But yeah, unfortunately for Neversoft, they were on that Tony Hawk grind. Then they got to try making Gun. Then they were put on the Guitar Hero after, with 3, and then they were locked at Guitar Hero until the final game, Warriors of Rock, which underperformed because people getting tired of the plastic guitars, and Activision does what Activision does, and it's like, okay, you're working on Call of Duty now.
Yeah, another studio that's worse than EA these days, Activision.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Neversoft. I feel like you're in the late 90s. You knew Neversoft. Like that was just a big one. It's like, oh, this is a good one. So
yeah,
yep. But Neversoft at number 6. Let's continue on to our top 5, where we have a bit more of a jump, about 97 points between number 5 and number 6.
Okay. It gets difficult because I'm saving a couple for later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's 2 that I think are the top 2, and I'm fairly confident.
Anything from that list of yours you want to pull out?
I'm thinking, because my list has been jumbled because a few games have been chosen well ahead of where I thought they would have, or well behind where I thought they would have been chosen. You know what?
I can see the calculations going around Steve's head.
I'm going to throw this one out, even though I think it's like a top 3 at worst. AlphaDream.
I think that might be number 1.
I think with this audience, it might be number 1. There's only one other candidate that I have on my list that I'm like, this could rank very highly on our on our audience listing. But yeah, Mario and Luigi, like they deserve so much better than what they got.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be like one of the top bills for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It gets very tricky from here because both AlphaDream and Japan Studio, I think, are going to be pretty high up there. I'll go with Lionhead.
All right. At number 5, LucasArts.
Oh, I didn't even remember they closed.
LucasArts did shut down their development studios. They are back as Lucasfilm, but that is only like licensing.
Right.
Yeah.
It is not a true development studio. LucasArts is essentially dead, and that sucks because I mean, all I put was adventure games in Star Wars. You want your Sam and Max, you want your Monkey Islands and so forth, and then you've got all these amazing Star Wars games that they handled. Yeah, LucasArts was so much more than you'd ever expect from a developer that was derived from Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, what a legacy though. Yeah, it's like some of the most influential games ever, like Grim Fandango and Monkey Island. It influenced so much, yeah. But at least we do see the games like come back every now and then. Like we have Return to Monkey Island, who it wasn't done by the same developers, but they did manage to find a way to license that again. So it's not like this is a untapped treasure chest. Like this stuff can return. There are re-releases like Sam and Max came back. So that this stuff is still out there, but it would never be quite as pinnacle as it used to be.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about, at least for Monkey Island, is that I'm blanking on his name.
Ron Gilbert?
Yes, Ron Gilbert did come back for the latest Monkey Island. So you have that sort of continuation, but I don't know if we're ever going to get I'm blanking on his name that works now at with the Psychonauts dev. No.
Tim
Schafer.
Yes.
Tim Schafer, right.
I don't know if he'll ever come back for a Grim Fandango sequel or anything like that.
I don't think so, but sometimes things are okay. Like that's kind of franchise that I think is fine. It's just that one-off, but it's just the potential that they had there, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors and all these other games that they did. It's sad.
Yeah, it's hard to, I think those younger don't know if they really realize how big LucasArts really was at the time, and they lasted for a while. Like they were like from the 80s.
Yeah, they've been around since the beginning, like the early PC gaming days. I didn't even know they shut down. I feel bad about that one.
Yeah, it was like around 2000. I think it was Disney that decided that
probably
they did
that.
Time
they bought, it's the time they brought Disney, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, bought by Disney, I should say.
I think so. And then what was Disney's internal developer? You think they even shut them down?
They did. So I'm guessing that's not on the list.
No, did not make the list. Oh gosh, but yeah, I need to experience more of those games because I've never played through like Grim Fandango.
Yeah,
or any of those. I need adventure games is kind of a big blind spot for me.
Well, a lot of them are readily available. Like Grim Fandango, I think is on basically everything these days.
I think you're right. Yeah, so just need to find the time. But yep, there we are. LucasArts at number 5. So let's move on to number 4, beating out LucasArts by 29 points.
I think we can start dipping into a few more Nintendo ones. I thought Skip would be around this point, but other Nintendo ones like Sing, who I'd put around here, who did Another Code, Hotel Dusk, Little King Story, like games like that.
I don't have any Nintendo ones. Let me think. I'm gonna go with Westwood Studios, who I probably should have put a lot lower. I think they were like RTS guys. I think they did Command and Conquer.
Yeah,
that was like their big thing. And everyone I knew in my friend group was playing Command and Conquer at some point in their lives. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought these guys were still around. Until I looked at this list. So I'd have to go with them. Like if you know RTSs and you played Command and Conquer, Westwood is kind of a household name.
Yeah. At number 4, Treasure. Now Treasure is technically still out there. It's like 3 guys in a box.
I was gonna say
it's a basement.
This was one I considered for my list because Guardian Heroes, like Gunstar Heroes, lots of Heroes games apparently.
Yeah.
I love their output.
Ikaruga, Wario World.
Yep. They do technically
some of the best
still
games
exist.
Yeah. Yeah, like they re-release their stuff sometimes. But it is mostly just 3 guys in the basement. Like they don't make games.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like Sin and Punishment, Ikaruga, Radiant Silvergun. It's just these are some of the best games you could possibly play.
Yeah,
and they're
I think
timeless.
the saddest thing is they teased like for their own, I think 30th anniversary it was. They were like, "Oh, we're going to do something big," and nothing happened. And I
It
was like,
was Radiant Silvergun on
"Oh, was it?
PS5 and Xbox. That's what it
Oh
was.
no!"
Just
I
another
didn't even get to
re-release.
hear about it, but that's sad. Like, yeah, technically
The
they
last time
still
they put
exist.
out a
They
new
are.
game was 2014 with Geist Crusher God on 3DS.
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're functionally defunct.
yeah,
Mhm.
they pretty much are, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Extremely. Didn't
They're
they do
making really good
Mischief
stuff
Makers
as
on
of like
N64?
Sorry.
Didn't they do Mischief Makers on N64?
Yes.
They did.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Also
They did,
another fantastic game.
yeah. But they're making great stuff like pretty recently. Like Sin and Punishment 2 was like what 2011, 2010,
2009.
2009. But and that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you can go from something like that to basically nothing.
Well, that's the crazy thing. After Sin and Punishment 2, all they released was Bangai-O HD, which
Yeah.
technically just a remake, and then 2 Geist Crusher games, and that was done. They ended in the
Yeah.
3DS era.
How sad.
Yeah.
That is extremely sad. They have some of the best games of all time in their back catalog.
Mhm.
Would love to see them get the resources they need to make new ones.
Yeah. As Press Play to Jason points out, they made Astro Boy Omega Factor, which is a really good action
Yes.
game on Game Boy Advance.
It is.
Even if you know nothing about Astro Boy, that's a game worth hunting down and playing. They had as you said, Guardian Heroes and all that. They did the weird Stretch Panic on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
They had Radiant Silvergun and Silhouette Mirage, and like they just Dynamite Heady. They had all kinds of weird things, and then the pinnacle, McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure, which is actually still a good game.
I want to try that because I've not heard of that before, and I'm sure it is good.
You've never heard of McDonald's?
Treasure made a McDonald's.
I actually had a friend who rented that as a kid, and I was like, "Why is this good?" It made no
Yeah.
sense to me at the time.
I have no idea. I'm looking this up right now.
It's not amazing, but it is good.
It looks good
So.
enough to buy.
Good enough to buy. There you go. Where's McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure on NSO Nintendo? Come on.
True.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking at this. This is not what I expected. I have a McDonald's game somewhere in my collection.
Oh,
It's
there's a
not
bunch of bad McDonald's games, of course, but this is like probably the best one. If I had to, I'm not that familiar, to be honest. So that's a weird thing. And yes, I did, as being pointed out, I did play Light Crusader on NS as part of the old Game Club show,
Yeah.
which top down, not fully top down, isometric action RPG, which still pretty good. Not my favorite of their games, but still pretty solid.
Yeah. McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure is not cheap on eBay.
No, it wouldn't be.
I wonder why.
Sure, it's pretty rare. That'd be other methods might be needed for that one. But yeah, Treasure, legendary developer. I think everybody would just freak out if they were able to actually come back in any real way. But I mean, when your first game is Gunstar Heroes and you just go from there, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So, God, they only had 16 employees by 2011.
Yeah. Is there no
That's
report as of recent? 'Cause I think it's literally just a couple of guys.
Yeah, I don't have any other numbers I can see.
Just don't expect games from them. That's the sad reality.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen, which is so so sad. Oh, here, less than 10 by 2022.
Yeah.
That's yep. Again, we're here to make you feel sad,
Yeah.
but also play some games from
It's worth
these developers you might not have heard of.
Yeah.
So there you go. Everybody needs to go play McDonald's, apparently. All right, let's move on to our number 3 defunct developer, beating out Treasure by 388 points, somewhere around there.
Okay. I'll throw out Factor 5, who I don't think are quite as powerful as some of the ones we've said so far. Like Treasures, I think they have a much deeper legacy. But there was a time with like Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron, where I think these guys were seen as really tight to Nintendo, and they were close to getting like a Kid Icarus game. So I think this one might have hit people quite hard.
Yeah, they were kind of held in the same regard as like first party back in the GameCube era. So I could definitely see that. I'm going to throw out just a random one. This is Monolith Productions, who, if you don't remember, created the Shadow of Mordor game.
Yeah.
Which was a massive hit way back when. Hard to believe that I think WB closed them. Good old
WB is another one of those devs that are competing with EA.
Yeah, I think my notes here say they also did Aliens vs. Predator and Fear. So probably not what our audience is usually looking for, but a great developer who should still exist.
Fear and Fear 2 are like they're the pinnacle of those guys for me. Like those are such good games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful games. Super, like, I'm not usually like a big horror guy, but their games were excellent. I watched my brother play them.
You want an elevator pitch for Fear? What if you're a tactic squad facing down the girl from The Ring?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
At number 3, Steve, you're a little early on this one. Hudson Soft.
Oh,
wow! Thank you. I feel
Hudson
validated.
at number 3, and as you said, they did Mario Party, they did Bomberman, they did Adventure Island, they did Bloody Roar.
Yeah, Bloody Roar.
So many games, and it's weird to think that they're gone. Just as you said, either in the ND Cube or with into Konami itself. They did Star Soldier, Bonk. Like, it is a storied, massive list of games that they've worked on.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Man. I'm glad. Like, I put it up there on the list, and I was like, oh man, this is just going to show my age. People aren't going to remember this because it is so well remembered, but mostly in the 16-bit era that I feared that it was so like their kind of heyday was so long ago that people wouldn't remember. I'm glad to be wrong about this one. I'm glad that it went way higher up.
I think it's a very tight Nintendo one. Like, there's a lot of Bomberman fans in this crowd. There's also a lot of Mario Party fans, and they were a huge part of the TurboGrafx. Like that was pretty much like first party Hudson.
Pretty much. Also, fun fact I just discovered as I'm looking through their release list. You know that Doraemon game that was shown as part of the console archives?
Yeah,
that's them.
Yeah, so it's probably good.
So yeah, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
So you got all of that there. They worked on Fa Xanadu. So you got that new Xanadu game. They made the NES conversion, specific one for that. God, did so much. like I can't even
they're probably out of this list so far, like the most prolific developer we've had.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Like, I think most people in this audience have played multiple Hudson games. Like, no matter what your age is, you've probably seen that B somewhere.
Yeah, you definitely. I'm just looking through. I'm just like, my God, what a legacy, what a legacy of games, just from all genres. Like, they worked on stuff that is like, licensed games and so forth, but they still did interesting stuff. They made the little bit of a cult classic on Game Boy Advance, Ninja 5.0.
Wow.
Here.
And like a lot of their franchises continued under like Konami and Nintendo, but they're never quite the same. There've been some good Bombermans in recent years. Like Bomberman R made it to a point where it was okay, but there was never like Saturn Bomberman good. Same for Mario Party. There've been good Mario Parties, but it was a long crawl to get there.
Yeah.
There were many years of Mario Parties that were not up to snuff before we got back into a good place with the series.
Yeah,
definitely took a while, but yeah, Hudson Soft. It just, man, what a great. It's weird to think they're gone. It's weird to think they're gone, but at least they're. Enough of their series lives on. It doesn't feel like they're gone, I guess is the way to put that. But yeah. Oh well. Oh man, Bomberman 60. Dalf was saying I want to see Bomberman 64 come to the NSO to see what the fuss is about. That's a true that's a Bomberman platformer essentially, except you don't platform. really.
Yeah.
Odd pitch, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think of it like the adventure of a platformer, except you play as Bomberman.
Yeah.
In 3D. Like, it's really good.
Great game. Like
If
one of the best N64 games out there.
if we don't get that on NSO, then Konami, I want a second collection. It's like, you got all the Super Bombermans, which is cool. I want those 3D Bombermans.
Yes. And they're insanely expensive today because of how good they are.
Yeah.
Like they deserve a re-release of some kind to make them more accessible.
At least Bomberman 64 did come out on Virtual Console on Wii U, but of course that shop is shut down now.
Does that count anymore?
Yeah, not really.
It's gone again.
So yeah, Hudson Soft at number 3. Let's move on to our number 2, beating out Hudson by 64 points.
So I think these are probably just AlphaDream and Japan Studio.
Yeah, I agree with John. I definitely threw out AlphaDream way too early. I'm going to say this one is Japan Studio, though. I feel like AlphaDream's going to top the list. I think Japan Studio, unfortunately, I'll be honest, I would put it Japan Studio number 1, AlphaDream number 2.
It's not even a question, to be honest with me. Like, Japan Studio have done so much more than AlphaDream. Like,
yeah.
But just for variety's sake, I'll say the opposite to Steve.
All right. At number 2, AlphaDream.
Oh, well, good. Well, good. Not good that they're defunct, but good that they didn't.
Not good that they're defunct, but their history is not quite as robust as some of the others, especially going off of Hamtaro. Not Hamtaro, but like Hudson. I'm sorry, they made a few Hamtaro games, Rainbow Rescue, Ham games, Ham Training. So those could come to NSO at some point. Who knows? But of course, everybody knows them for the Mario and Luigi games, and that is just. I mean, it's a beloved RPG series. They're going to have a legacy.
Tomato Adventure is also really good. That's like proto Mario and Luigi. There's some good fan translations out there for that. But yeah, it's clearly Mario and Luigi. People love them for. And even among them, like there's some inconsistencies, especially with the late ones. But they were definitely forced into those. Like you cannot tell me they wanted to remake Bowser's Inside Story on a platform that can already play Bowser's Inside Story. Like, it was such a weird decision, and it led to their doom.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I feel like Nintendo led them down the path to ruin in this case, and that's really unfortunate. Nintendo probably should have just bought them. It's baffling they didn't, but it is what it is at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, because their last few years, like we're doing like Paper Jam, Superstar Saga remake, Bowser's Inside Story remake. That's like 3 years, nearly 4 years of their life. At the end of the years of their life, and you can look at any of those games and you can tell me that they weren't going to succeed. But stuff like Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story were absolutely phenomenal. They're some of the best Mario RPGs around.
Yeah, and Dream Team has its issues, but it's still a lot of fun. Paper Jam was when things started getting a little weird, but then they got affected by the whole sticker star virus with that one. So that makes it a little tough. Like, it really does feel like mandates by Nintendo would just, death by 1,000 cuts at that point. It's just like not as exciting. Like Superstar Saga remake is pretty decent, all things considered. That one feels like it could use the update in a lot of ways. But as you said, Bowser's Inside Story, they needed a new one. Now there is, not great news about all this, but a lot of developers did return for development of Brothership.
Yes.
With Acquire. And that includes Chihiro Fujioka, who was a big part of the Mario and Luigi games and the director of Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
You have that legacy there with Brothership, and hopefully that continues on, because I played Brothership in a very weird way. I still haven't beaten it because Kai loves that game, but he also has not figured out that game as well. Like teaching a 5-year-old how to equip things and build up their stats and not run from battles when they're getting beat up. It's a little tricky, but he loves the character. He's excited to see Connie. It's like, I gotta go find Connie. I gotta fix the broken arrow so we can fix the stuff going around there. There's Brothership, I feel like, is a good game. It has issues, but I think it's overall very good. And I hope Mario and Luigi is able to continue after that.
Yeah.
So, and if that means the some of the developers from AlphaDream continue on as well, great.
Yeah. I think their last hurrah was the 2D portion in Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So all the 8-bit and 16-bit stuff. And that was quite neat. So it was an odd like farewell, but it was a pretty cool part of that game. And it is sad that they didn't get to continue on, even doing like assist stuff, like more things like that. But
yeah,
as you say,
Nintendo didn't
the
save them in any way.
Yeah,
that's so weird. But I think that's what makes it sad. It's like feels like Nintendo could have saved them, but they didn't.
Yeah,
feels like
it's
they
rare that they do.
Should have, yeah.
Yeah, they'll usually just let a development studio die. It's very uncommon that they don't. It's like Next Level Games is the one studio where they bought them out because someone else was going to.
Mm-hmm. And they realized, like, wait, they make really good stuff for Luigi's Mansion. We got to keep them. So, yeah, it's weird, but yep. AlphaDream, I mean, it's the one that stands out. You had made all these wonderful games and then they're gone. It's like, that sucks.
It really does.
So let's get to our number one most missed defunct developer, beating out AlphaDream by 155 points.
Yeah, it's Japan studio.
Yeah, there's no way it isn't.
At number one, Sony Japan Studio, and you want to talk about legacy? Good God!
Yeah, it's everything Sony was. Like, it's all their identity. And like we've made the argument a few times in this list that the games and developers live on, and I've seen people argue that they all went to Team Asobi. It's not true. Like some of them did, very few. That was very much a PR speak. Most of them went to other studios. A lot of them were in the Zelda team and other Nintendo parts. Some Monolith Soft, but yeah, they didn't get spread out to Asobi really.
No, not at all. And I mean, Ape Escape, Loco Roco, Patapon, Gravity Rush, Knack, Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, Parappa. God, I'm sure you could probably continue going. Jumping Flash, Arc the Lad.
Did a lot of collaboration games too, like Demon's Souls and Bloodborne were partially by them. Probably part of the reason why Bloodborne hasn't been re-released at this point, because it would have been a Japan studio job.
Yeah,
It's sad because for me, these were the games that built Sony up as a competitor to Nintendo, and that kind of vibe just no longer exists. Like there are great things on PlayStation, but they have a very defined Western style niche to them these days, where you used to be able to get like kind of that more playful presentation you get from Japanese style games on PlayStation, and these days you just have to hope third parties are doing it because Sony definitely isn't.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff third parties just don't do these days because it's a big risk. Like right now we're getting Mario Tennis, which should be a pretty simple game, right? But like think of any other tennis game. Like what can you think? You name any?
First one that comes to mind is like Virtua Tennis, and that's years ago.
Yeah. And like Sony had, I mean, they're still doing it under Bandai Namco, but like Everybody's Golf was like the only other arcade golf game that was being done. The Alpha Line says Hot Shots Tennis. Yeah, there wasn't Everybody's Tennis as well. But this is basic stuff, but no one's doing it. And now with that Japan studio, it's just Nintendo doing that stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like with the demise of arcades, it feels like developers just no longer want to make like arcadey style games that are meant to pick up and play in short bursts.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to chase some kind of like huge AAA, massive game that costs billions of dollars to create.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It's the death of AA. I feel like Japan studios being there for AA games would be perfect. Don't need a full-on budget. You don't need amazing graphics from most of their games. Just really fun ideas, and bam, you got something amazing there. Like you don't need like the highest end graphics for a Patapon or for a Loco Roco. Just make that thing look like sharp, and you're good.
Well, yeah. The funny thing is, I think a prevailing narrative has been that the best games are the actual like 8 out of 10s that you end up loving intensely. And that's exactly what Japan Studio was making, like AA 8 out of 10 games that people would keep on their shelf for decades after they finished them because they loved them that much. And we need more of that. And it's a shame that a developer that was almost exclusively making that is gone.
Yeah. We just data from making YouTube videos. It's really hard to make people interested in legacy PlayStation. Japan studio stuff does do well, but you try and expand beyond that. It's actually really difficult to get people interested. And like with Nintendo, a lot of their franchises are still going. So you can look back at an old Zelda, an old Metroid, and it's still relevant. It's still stuff people care about. But the whole history of PlayStation, it's more modern. It's stuff. It's looking forward that people care about. It's such a different landscape, and the fact that Japan studio isn't prominent anymore, present anymore, it's going to leave people's minds. So like it's hard to keep that story going because it's not being told anymore. So it's actually it's very difficult to make videos about this stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy to look through, and like they had some pretty major RPGs. They were part of Legend of Dragoon, part of Wild Arms.
Wild Arms. Yeah.
They made some really interesting stuff on PlayStation 3 for like the digital storefront, like Africa and Tokyo Jungle.
Tokyo Jungle's phenomenal.
And I was actually just looking like, I was hoping I could find like sales numbers for like Tokyo Jungle, because it was a weird thing that I thought most people loved, but apparently according to the developer, Tokyo Jungle really well received in Europe. They loved it. America, not so much. Apparently it's bombed in America.
It's a slow burn game, I guess, but it's quite modern now. It's kind of like a roguelike in many ways.
Yeah, very much so. If you can look through that catalog of Japan studio and find something to just absolutely love, very much in the same way as Hudson Soft. It's like looking through what made the top 10, the three studios that had the biggest lineup, well, four, are Sony Japan, Hudson, LucasArts, and Midway.
Yeah,
just a massive lineup of different games.
Yeah, there's a lot of like non-humanoid characters in the Japan studio lineup. Like you've got some, like Kat's non-human. She's a human. But stuff like Parappa, Loco Roco, Patapon, the Peepo monkeys. It's stuff you don't see anymore. Like look at PlayStation's lineup, and outside of Astro, it's all humans. It's interesting seeing like those more colorful, not necessarily that mascotty, but just different stuff that stands out.
Yeah. I'm looking through, and they did. I don't think I realized they did Mr. Mosquito.
I
don't think I realized they did Mr. Mosquito. I thought that was some obscure like.
Well, developed by Zoom, but they published. Okay, they published it in Japan.
Oh, they published. Okay,
gotcha. It's developed by Zoom. But I'm like, it's a lot of times they'll roll in develops and what they've developed and what they've published in the same lineup, but still helped make it more like out there.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. It's just, again, it's depressing because you have this wonderful lineup. So many just clever games. Vib Ribbon and the Siren games.
Yeah. It was a bit depressing, the response to Astrobot, because a lot of people were like, well, we should be getting more games like this. And so we had that for literally years, and it was all shut down.
Yeah. I don't understand the obsession with the Naughty Dog era. Like I love Naughty Dog back in the day, but I think what they're doing is sort of a poison at this point.
I think that the issue is Sony finds themselves in a weird position where they've put all of their eggs into, the AAA games basket. And, obviously also live, like they seem to be chasing industry trends more than they should just be focusing on creating interesting experiences for gamers, right? You obviously have this kind of unsustainable AAA model where it takes years and years to make a new game, which works for some developers. Obviously, GTA 6 is going to do insanely well, and that took forever. But realistically, that can't be all that any developer produces, or else they'll go under. You need those AA experiences to balance out these huge releases that cost tons of money. Nintendo's really good at doing that without talking about it. Like, for every Breath of the Wild, you get 5 WarioWares or something like that, Sony hasn't figured that out, and unfortunately, they closed one of the best studios in the world for making that kind of stuff. Team Asobi did a great job with Astrobot, but they're really standing on the legacy of Japan Studio while doing it.
Quite literally, like that game's got so much Japan Studio in there. Yeah,
I was looking here, and there was an interview with I'm trying to find his first name, but Yoshida.
Shuhei,
Shuhei Yoshida. In a 2025 interview, he said with the growth of the indie games, the gap widened between AAA and the smaller type of games that Japan Studio specialized in. And so Sony just would not approve any of the concepts they put out. He gave the example of the director of Gravity Rush 2, Keiichiro Toyama, and said he had a lot of ideas for smaller games, but Sony just did not approve any of them. So he left and founded Bokeh Game Studio, which is the one who released Slitterhead.
Yeah,
which I don't know how was that.
I liked it, but it's one of those games that a lot of people don't. Like you have to click with it, or you won't like it.
Yeah, but yeah, this is the same guy. He was director of the original Silent Hill, Siren, and of course went to Gravity Rush. So like, how do you do that?
yeah. It's a really sad mindset. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah. Like I said, this is we're here to depress you today. So yeah, there's our top 10. Obviously, all of the ones that are going to be listed out here are worth noting. And if you have any that we don't mention in this top 50, shout it out in the comments. That you feel like you should have gotten a bit more of a spotlight on it. But let's take a look at the rest of that top 50 to see what else people remember about not making, about Shuttered developments or developers. Number 11, Sing. This is another Code, Little King story, the Kyle Hyde mysteries.
Yeah, and a lot of them are at Arc System Works now, and so they're doing games like Another Recollection. So they live on, but they made such special games, these guys. And they were really good at taking advantage of the hardware they were on. Like their DS games were just crazy good, and they did features that people like credit like Phantom Hourglass for, like that puzzle where you like close the DS to solve. Like that's directly from Another Code and Hotel Dusk. So they were really clever with that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't play them on the original. I love the Hotel Dusk games, and because I did pick up Another Code Recollection, and I'd say it's a great example of a 7 out of 10. Memorable, but maybe not the best gameplay wise, but still memorable. I still think about those characters. At number 12, Monolith Productions. So this is what Steve was talking about before with Fear. They did the Condemned games, No One Lives Forever, which was a 60s throwback, or was it 70s throwback, like first person shooter, play a female spy. I remember that getting a lot of attention back in the day. Just fantastic studio that really good at what they do. And then who shuttered them? I forget who shuttered them, but
WB.
Yep. Yeah, those dumbasses. Number 13, Visceral. This is your Dead Space, your Army of Two. They did the Simpsons game.
Mm-hmm. Man, the Dead Space stings the most, but it's crazy. Yeah. Like, obviously, The Simpsons isn't where it used to be, but it is crazy how you had such good games in that era and then just nothing for like 2 decades.
Yeah. I mean, EA, you can really just trace it to EA because they had a great thing with 1, they improved it with 2, and then EA got in there and freaking Dead Space 3 just like they ruined it. They ruined it. And of course, Visceral's the one who gets punished for it. So it's so dumb. Anyway, number 14, Free Radical Design, Time Splitters. Is the big thing they're most known for. They also did a game called Second Sight, but most people know them for Time Splitters.
It's nearly come back several times now, but it never does. Never does quite do it.
X Rare Des, I believe.
Yes.
Mainly from the GoldenEye team. So
yeah, if you've played GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, you're like, man, I wish they'd do another one. They've done 3 other ones. Like Time Splitters 1, 2, and 3, they're literally GoldenEye.
15, Lionhead Studios, which you did say before, John. This is we get Black and White, Fable, the movies. Pretty solid games all around. Peter Molyneux, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
which
He
I'm
might
going to give more credit to the devs than Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. He talks a lot, but Black and White and Fable were very special games in their time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has some great stuff under his belt.
Mm-hmm. Number 16, Quintet.
Oh, of Quintet.
Not familiar.
ActRaiser, Soul Blazer, Illusion of
yes.
Gaia, Terranigma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best RPGs ever.
Yeah. Great. They worked with Enix a lot in the early days, and then like with Super Nintendo era, and then they kind of moved on beyond that. And it feels like that's when they kind of like I don't hear as much of their stuff. Like I've never heard of Code R or Planet Laika. Apparently, they were a support studio for Shenmue.
Oh wow!
I mostly just know them for their Terranigma trilogy, but of course like Soul Blazer, of course, as well.
Yeah, the last game they made was Magical Hoshin, a Game Boy Advance version of Mystic Heroes on PlayStation 2, which seems like a chibi-fied version of Dynasty Warriors.
That sounds kind of neat.
Like it's not Dynasty Warriors, it's it's that same era, the Three Kingdoms era.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so shame on that one. 17, Silicon Knights, which of course we spoke about before with Eternal Darkness, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. They did the very first, only the very first of the Blood Omen Legacy Kane game.
Yeah. It is sad they're gone, but I think Eternal Darkness is mostly what people know them for.
Yeah.
And honestly, Dennis Dyack kind of killed a lot of goodwill.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yes, he
people
did.
people care more about Eternal Darkness than they do Silicon Knights as a whole, I'd say.
Yeah.
Number 18, Westwood Studios.
Right.
This one hits hard because I loved Command and Conquer back in the day. They're the pioneers of the real-time strategy genre because Dune 2 was the first real-time strategy, and they're the ones who developed that. There's a lot of sales often on Steam. You can pick up the entirety of the Command and Conquer series for like $5.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worthwhile especially if you like old 90s full motion video cheese in your games.
Oh,
there's a lot of that in the Command and Conquer.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's great. Here's a fun little thing. I was looking through the rest of it. Did you guys know that they were the developers of The Lion King on SNES and Genesis?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep. They're the ones who worked on that. That's just a game I picked out as I was looking through it, just to have notable stuff that they all worked on. So yeah, Westwood Studios, the RTS developer, made The Lion King. Number 19, Psygnosis. So here's your Lemmings, Wipeout, Colony Wars.
Yeah. Very sad.
So yeah. Number 20, Telltale Games. Specifically, they're back kind of, but the original version ended in 2018.
I struggled with this one because they're back, and if you look at their website, they still have all their old games listed on the new Telltale website. So I was like, you know what, I don't know if I can.
Wasn't sure whether they're counted or not, but you know, it did happen.
It's a tough one, kind of like Treasure, where I think functionally, yeah, it's true, but it's one of those ones where I was like, I would have put it on my list had they not had like a new website with all their old stuff.
Telltale were very talented, though. I think my problem was they did a lot in a very short span, and then games like Life is Strange came along, which I think just sort of one-up them in their execution. Like they had a very formulaic approach to how their games worked. So you can understand kind of why it went down, but it is very sad all the same. They did some great stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed their Back to the Future game. Walking Dead definitely was their breakout.
Yeah.
I hear Tales from the Borderlands is like one of the best Borderlands things ever.
Yeah, like Minecraft Story Mode was pretty big too.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they do the Homestar Runner game on WiiWare? Strong Bad Cool Game for Awesome People.
I think you're right. So
I liked that one.
Yeah.
It was them, yes.
All right. Number 21. I wasn't sure whether to count this one or not. I couldn't find out how much they've actually developed themselves, but Acclaim. They feel like more of a publisher.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a publisher.
But
yeah, they did the home ports of Mortal Kombat back in the day. And that's
they're
really
also
what
part
I know
of
them
Turok and the South Park games early on.
Yeah, I never really counted them as a developer. It was always just like, oh, they published this. And I think weirdly, they were the first example of a publisher and not a developer that I was aware of as a kid. Like I was like, oh, they didn't make Mortal Kombat. They just put it on, because you had like 5 logos at the beginning of SNES Mortal Kombat.
Something like that. Number 22, we have a tie between Radical Entertainment, who did the prototype games and The Simpsons Road Rage.
Yeah.
And Bullfrog Productions, who worked on Populous, Syndicate, Theme Park, Theme Hospital, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Both massive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Populous was my very first Super Nintendo game. So I saw that Bullfrog logo a bunch.
That's weird. I never expected Populous to be your first game.
my dad had just met my mom, and to win me over, he bought me a Super Nintendo with Populous, which just proved that he didn't know me yet.
Kids like this, right?
He's like, Costco has this. I think that's what he said to me when he gave it to me. He's like, Costco was selling these, and he gave me like a Super Nintendo with Populous. And I remember looking at Populous being like, what is this?
Oh yeah, of course. Radical also made some of the later Crash. I think they did one of the later the last Crash Team Racing game before the remake, and then also Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutants. So
yeah,
a few of those games in there.
I've got fun trivia on that because I forgot how I found out on this. I think I was capturing footage of Crash Tag Team Racing for PSP, and I collected a coin. I was like, that coin sounds familiar. It's reused from the Simpsons Hit and Run, which they also made.
That's really funny. It's like, hey, we have that in the old sound files. Toss it in there. 24 is another one that's again more of a publisher. I tried to find stuff they specifically developed themselves. I think they're in there, but I couldn't. There's a lot to sift through. THQ, the original version of THQ.
Yep.
Yeah. Like also kind of back, but not the same way.
Not in the same way, no.
Yeah.
I have a friend that play tested for THQ. Well, he was potentially looking at me getting a job as a playtester, which never worked out because I looked at the workload and how much he got paid. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. But I was staying at his place while he went to work because he was showing me around his where he'd moved as well. And he had a copy of Darksiders there. And so I played Darksiders all day, and I love that game. Darksiders is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's my THQ story.
Yeah,
wasn't able to go to the offices, but I got to play Darksiders all day.
Yeah, I don't think there were that many THQ games that I'm like that attached to, but they were always around. They just kind of felt weird when they weren't there anymore.
Yeah, it was. They're one of those publishers or developers that you would see their games on shelves constantly, but there were very few of them that were really compelling. Like I think they did all the SpongeBob games for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
that was like for some people that was a big deal.
They have some of those. They were the publisher of Red Faction, Saints Row.
That's
so
true.
they're the ones that sort of allowed some of those other big ones that get more well known. But again, I don't know if I feel like they developed some things themselves, like they had some subsidiaries or whatnot, but I don't know exactly what they would have worked on specifically. I couldn't find that.
Yeah.
Anyway, at 25, Sierra Online. So your King's Quest, your Space Quest, your Leisure Suit Larry, Gabriel Knight. Unfortunately they're gone, but they were huge at the time. Rivals of LucasArts. There was a nice rivalry between the two of them where they were just trying to constantly one up each other.
Not surprised they're this low on the list because you really had to be like a big fan of like the mid to late 90s gaming PC scene to really appreciate all of their output.
Yeah. And it's nice to see Ken and Roberta Williams still working on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're still putting out some stuff on occasion. 26, Volition. So this is where you get your Red Faction and your Saints Row.
Yeah.
Great little game.
Great,
so much fun. So much. I love Red Faction, Guerrilla, and Saints Row 2 and 3 are the ones I played the most.
The original PS2 Red Factions are really good too. They're just first-person shooters, but the multiplayer was great in those.
Yeah, I remember them really talking up Red Faction 1 because you can shoot through walls. That's crazy on the PlayStation 2.
Apart. Yeah.
Yep. So that was a big deal. Like, not a lot of first person shooters today do that.
It's
That's
Donkey
true.
Kong Bonanza, but all these years before.
At 27, this will be a fun one for you guys. Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium.
Oh, big
MEC.
fan. Big fan.
You know what they made?
No.
They are the developers of the Oregon Trail.
Oh.
What? The Oregon Trail, guys. Oh,
That's
Yes.
nuts.
I got my mom Oregon Trail on the Nintendo Switch 2 Christmases ago. She loves it. Like she's been playing that game since I was an infant, probably. And I remember playing Oregon Trail. Like, Derrick, this is probably a memory that you and I may share. I don't know, but like we grew up on different coasts of the country. But every school when I was growing up had a computer lab, and every computer had Oregon Trail on it.
Yes, they did, and that's how I played it, and that's how I loved it.
Yep. We would have, I don't know if this is true for you, John, in the UK, but like we would have at least, it's somewhere in our educational career, a period of time in which a teacher would be exhausted and just let us play Oregon Trail instead of doing schoolwork.
According to this,
it's like an extremely common, like, core memory that every American child has.
The Oregon Trail was one of the most popular. It was originally written for Minneapolis Public Schools computers because the programming was the largest single use for MTS, with up to 45% of the system used for one of almost 12 computer languages. To support its large number of users, 70 to 80% of all Minnesota public schools in 1981, and available to 96% of Minnesota students from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. by 1982. Yeah, they had all this. So Oregon Trail was funding all this stuff for Minnesota, like as far as getting more of those games out, and they did more edutainment games. I think I couldn't tell if they published it or just developed it, but they were also part of the Secret Island of Dr. Quandary, Amazon Trail, those type of ones, Number Munchers, Word Munchers, Storybook Weaver, those type of games. So
that's nuts.
90s kids, key part of childhood right there. So there we go. Number 28, Factor 5.
Yeah.
So this is where you get your Rogue Squadrons, your Turk, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a sad one. They were also working on, there's a Counter the Kid Icarus pitch and also a Pilot Wings pitch, which didn't go through. So these could have been pretty prominent Nintendo guys.
Things went bad for them with Layer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Number 29, Love the Lick.
Oh yeah, we love Derrick.
The developers of strange little games, Moon, UFO, LOL, Lack of Love.
Yeah, they spread out over the years. Skip's part of that legacy too. Then they're not around anymore.
Yeah, they are. You could definitely tell where they came from. Moon is available now. They did that re-release, which was really pushed by Toby Fox because that was a key part of his inspiration for Undertale.
Yeah, and in Japan, as part of Console Archives, the UFO Love to Lick games coming out as well. Not being localized, but it's moving on a bit.
Yeah, in some love at least.
Yeah.
Number 30, Ensemble Studios. This is the original developers of Age of Empires and Halo Wars.
Right. Yeah. They did great stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very, very key PC developer. 31, I have to go a little bit specific on this one because it's technically still around, but the original Maxis Emeryville development studio has been shut down. That's the origin point of SimCity and The Sims and so forth. But unfortunately, like the last SimCity released was such a failure that's when they sort of got absorbed and that studio was shut down.
Yeah.
So,
it's a load
what
to
a
them.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 32, we got another tie between Vicarious Visions, who did the Crash Game Boy Advance Game Boy Advance games. They did later Skylanders games, not the original ones, but they took over development for a lot of the later ones, and then came back and got really beloved with Crash the Insane Trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah. Which sold crazy well. It was like, like over 10 million.
Yeah, I think so. And then I believe they got absorbed into the Call of Duty mines.
Yeah. and that's it.
Good old Activision. Like, John has made a really strong case for Activision being the worst developer.
Oh no, Activision is the worst. I'm pretty sure. Like, good God.
This is another video. Who is the worst developer? And it probably is Activision.
It's
Like,
Activision.
All they make is Call of Duty now. Sometimes they do a few remakes and then never deliver on a new game after that. And when they do, they shut the studio down.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Tied with them was Compile, the original developers of Puyo Puyo and the Aleste Bullet Hells.
Yeah, they live on a little bit with Compile Hearts, but they don't have their franchises anymore. Other than well, they kind of do, but yeah, it's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah. Did you ever play the game that Puyo Puyo spun off from, John? What was it called?
Yes. I got the new one recently. Monogatari.
Monogatari. That's it.
Yeah, they released one last year, or localized one last year. It's funky because it's got like a little bit of Puyo Puyo in there, but not all the characters, but a couple of them. They are good.
Like, are they like? Is it just a straight up RPG? Like, what is it? How do you get Puyo Puyo from this?
Yeah, it's dungeon crawler.
Oh, okay.
I think you'd like them. I think you would find it interesting. There's a little bit of Puyo flavor in there, but the actual Puyo Puyo gameplay is just totally different.
Oh wait, weird. Number 34, we have another tie between Team Silent, who only made Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and 4, but still, that's a hell of a legacy, and Looking Glass Studios, who worked on Thief and the original System Shock.
Oh yeah.
My dad was obsessed with Thief.
Yeah.
I had friends who really enjoyed Thief. I've never played it myself because I was not a 90s PC gamer. But also Team Silent. I mean, we saw what happened to the quality of Silent Hill for a long time after they were shut down for no real reason.
Yeah. They're a huge legacy to them.
Mm-hmm. This is a weird one to come across because it's technically true, but it works, I guess, because it was more of one of those like dissolved into other like and remade into something else. Nintendo R&D 1.
Yeah.
They're technically gone.
Yeah, they are. It's why you don't see like Wario Land anymore. And why Metroid took so long to get a new game.
Yeah, I believe the very last thing that R&D 1 worked on was the original the Metroid Zero mission in 2004.
Yeah, it's the reason why like most Nintendo games are done by third parties now.
Yeah, God, that's dumb. Like I think I get it, like why they did it, but man, looking at the legacy of these guys, like they're the ones who made the old Game & Watches. They did Donkey Kong. Popeye and Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley and there's so many Kid Icarus, Famicom Detective Club.
It made a lot of their usual franchises kind of niche, because like we used to get Wario Land game every like couple of years, every year sometimes, and then nothing. Same with Metroid. It took a long time to form a base with Metroid. We're at a good point now. Like Mercury Steam are kind of taken over, and all the R&D 1 developers, like they're still there. But they're not working all these games like they used to. It's mostly just the developers and producers. Yeah,
basically, it was that and R&D 2 were absorbed into the newly created Nintendo Software Planning and Development Division that Iwata created and then appointed himself general manager to focus on co-producing and supervising second-party development, thus relieving EAD and Miyamoto to focus on first-party projects.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting one because I agree we've lost a lot of games that would have been really cool to continue getting, but on the other hand, we also now get a much more steady cadence of first party releases from Nintendo than we did prior to this reorg. But it sucks that these were the cost, like that we lost a lot of their more kind of funky titles as a result of it.
Yeah, true. At 37, Cyber Dreams, who worked on some cult classic PC games, I'd say, like Dark Seed and I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh, yeah.
So, got those. 38, we have another tie. This time between Flagship, who developed Zelda Oracle Duology, Minish Cap, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. They also had they weren't. I don't know if they were main developer. I couldn't find this, but they also helped out with like Resident Evil 2 development and Onimusha development and stuff like that. They were very much a big support studio.
Yeah, it's a funny one because they're not like flagship aren't around anymore, but the talent they're just part of Zelda now.
Yeah, they just got absorbed into Zelda.
You so often hear like Capcom should make another Zelda games. Like they do. Like, they all do.
Capcom technically made Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. The director of the Oracle games and Minish Cap directed those two games. So there you go. But they tied with Vanpool, who did Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, Dylan's Rolling Western, a bunch of others.
The Tingle games are good.
They really are. They shouldn't be, but they are.
I've heard they're quite fun. I've not tried it myself.
They're Love Delicks as well.
Oh yeah, they are Love Delic. You can tell who worked where. That's for sure. I love when you have a developer you can just tell like, oh, this is their thing.
Yeah. You can look at Tingle and you can see Moon in there.
Mm-hmm. At number 40, Arcane Austin specifically. Arcane Studios is still around, but Arcane Austin, the studio that developed Prey and Redfall, gone.
Yeah, it's a shame it led to Redfall, but you can't blame them on that really. Like that game feels like it was just chasing trends of the time.
Yeah, I heard the Prey reboot was quite good too.
Yeah, Prey was good. Yeah,
so that's unfortunate. 41 it's kind of interesting. DigiFX Interactive. Any idea what they made?
Not sure.
They made the adventure game Harvester.
Oh.
Have you heard of Harvester before?
It's really familiar. If I Googled it.
It's like tickling my brain, but I can't place it.
It's like a freaky like FMV focused adventure game that is full of weird people, weird performances, and tries to go for like a hard, like sort of an R rating. It was weird. It's a weird game.
The box art is instantly recognizable. Yeah, I know this.
At 42, Black Isle Studios, creators of the original Fallout duology and Icewind Dale.
Man, yeah.
Which I know a lot of people miss old school Fallout.
Such a different vibe. They're different games. Like Bethesda Fallout is basically more Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Whereas those were very distinct.
Didn't Black Isle go on to like? Isn't the reason like people love New Vegas is because it's a lot of what people liked about the original Fallout? People went on to do more of that. I'm not sure. They're also a bit of a publisher. They're the ones who published the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
if only they'd held on for one more.
Obsidian is made from OG Fallout devs. I thought so. So yeah. 43, Data East.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a name I haven't thought about in a while. But
they've been
around 16-bit beat 'em ups.
So many of those. Joe and Mac, you might recognize from NSO. They did the Metal Max games, Magical Drop. They were just around.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff.
44, Humongous Entertainment. This is your kids' adventure games. Your Putt Putt, your Pajama Sam's, Spy Fox, Freddy Fish, that sort of thing.
I feel like John played some of these.
Maybe.
You gotta have Freddy play Freddy Fish.
There you go.
One of these, I know this is going to sound real weird. I think it was a Pajama Sam game, has some like horrendous Easter egg inside that's like either horror or sex related. I
don't know. I've not heard of this.
Like an Odd Header, a YouTube channel that digs into like hidden Easter eggs, and there is like a Pajama Sam game that has something awful hidden inside.
I've not heard of this. The only trivia I know is that the voice of Pajama Sam is the same voice actress that voices Bobby Hill.
Oh, is that
really?
Yeah. 45, Image APOC, who did Luminous Arc, Stellar Glow, Arc Rise Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
Not played any of those personally, but
I played Arc Rise Fantasia. It's a good game. Funny dub, but good game.
We got a tie for 46 between Bizarre Creations, who worked on Project Gotham Racing and Geometry Wars, and Irrational Games, original developers of BioShock, Freedom Force, and System Shock 2.
Yeah.
Those are tough.
Yeah. 48, Human Entertainment, who worked on Clock Tower, Monster Party on NES, and apparently also helped develop Murasame Castle.
Oh, is that right?
Really?
Yeah. I was looking through and it's like, did not know that. John would like that bit of info.
Yeah, Clock Tower is so important. That's what led to survival horrors video games. Like Resident Evil wouldn't have been what it was without Clock Tower.
I want to try the original Clock Tower. I know it got that remake from way forward, but I don't hear people talk about it too much.
It's pretty literal. It's mostly just a translation, pretty much.
You know what? That's probably fine. That's really all that needs.
Yeah.
And then we have a 3-way tie for 49. So technically we go to 51 between Core Design, Tomb Raider, Fighting Force, Origin Systems, who worked on Ultima and Wing Commander, and Sanzaru Games, which is Sly 4, your Sonic Boom 3DS's, Asgard's Wrath.
Yeah. I am surprised Core Design's this far back. Like they are some of the most important devs in the industry.
Yeah, I guess they've been gone for so long, and Tomb Raider's gotten so many other games that they don't think about those originals.
It's easy to see why they fell apart. There's a lot of Tomb Raider in a very short succession, and then Angel of Darkness didn't land. Like it makes sense, but like they were so prominent on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Like just one of the major ones. Like again, they were pumping out Tomb Raider games like crazy.
Yeah.
So. Yep, that is our lineup of 50 devs that are so sadly defunct now. There's plenty more, of course. And so, if you have any that you want to shout out, absolutely do so, because there's a lot of fantastic games among all these. Like, good God.
Yeah. I think all of our moods have gone down since beginning this video.
Yeah. So, it's a bit of a bummer, but I feel like it's still important to know these and pick up a bit of gaming history potentially if any of these sort of strike your interest.
But speaking of one of those last ones you mentioned, we're talking about who's worse than EA. Meta are worse than EA. They just closed down everybody.
Yeah,
Meta
including one of the ones you just mentioned.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh.
Next list: 10 developers worse than EA.
Yeah, there's a lot of developers worse than EA. EA is still not great, but they've been surpassed.
Yeah.
Oh God, remember the days when EA was just a smaller company that actually was well liked.
Yeah.
You mean when they made Madden and only Madden, or Madden Road Rage or Road Rash? Sorry.
Something like
in the Genesis days, they were fine. I liked them a lot. But John's right though. There's so many that are somehow worse, and EA had set the bar pretty low, but some managed to stay all right under it. So
I'm bringing up Ubisoft and Ubisoft is kind of getting up there too, except they're just not getting anything out.
Yeah. Other than Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, they've done so little goodwill for themselves.
Yeah,
and even less goodwill now they've closed down a bunch of studios.
Exactly. So, such a shame. It really is. But yep, those are our top 50 defunct developers that you should feel sad about. We hope you are sad. I hope this was still I hope this was still entertaining despite the more solemn tone of this one. But you know what? For our next top 10, instead of sad, we're gonna get you mad because this one's gonna be pretty brutal. We had to do research and whatnot. This one, you don't really have to think about it. It's all gut feelings, personal views on this one. We want your top 10 game genres. What are your favorite genres to play? Do you like the platformers, the sports games, the racing games, the RPGs? What are your genres that you cling to? Do you like your Metroidvanias? What stands out to you? And let's find out what those top genres are. Qualifiers. I will subdivide these. I don't care. I will take action RPG will be separate from regular RPG, just because I feel like if we limit what the genres could be, we may only have like 10 genres.
RPG is too vague of a term. Like, is
exactly.
Final Fantasy VII the same as, I don't know, like The Witcher 3? That they feel like very different games.
Yeah.
So strategy RPG, you have your strategy RPGs, you have your real time, which is separate from your real time strategies, but also I think it's separate from turn-based strategies because some of those don't have RPG mechanics. So it's prepare for a lot of qualifiers, but you know what? I would just put a blanket statement out here right now. If it has different subdivision, congratulations, it's a different genre. So this will be fun to count and figure out for sure. So yeah. And we'll just, to make it easy, even though I'm not a fan of the JRPG term, we'll still use it as that moniker to have that flavor of game, because it is significantly separate from the Western RPG, such as Baldur's Gate. Like, they're both RPGs, but there's significant difference between Final Fantasy and Baldur's Gate. And by that time, the token, country of origin does not matter, because what would you consider Clair Obscur? Probably a JRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has all those. It ticks all the boxes.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So
FRPG.
Yep. So, FRPG. And yeah, visual novels will be a big one. So good luck. That's all I can say.
We vote for Japanese platformers specifically. No
Yeah.
Western platformers here, please.
Oh, don't do that to me. That's platformer, pure and simple. Oh God. Why do I make things harder myself? I feel like I'll never have a top 10 that's really simple. It's like, yes, there's no qualifiers necessary. This is all you need to see. That's never going to happen.
Never no peace, Derrick.
No peace whatsoever. So yeah. There we go. There's our top 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.